Hey everybody, it's Brenda. How you all doing today? Nice sunshiny day out today, so we'll see how that's going to last, how long. So we're going to play with a couple of file folders today, and I just have a couple of regular file folders here. I think I got these off Amazon, so we're going to use two. I'm going to take the first one, and I have the tab right here, and mine are 11.5 by 9. About 11.5 by 9 is the size of my file folders. I think that's just regular size. So I've got my tab over here on the right hand side. You can fool around and see if you might want your tab after we get done, like on the other side or whatever. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and take this file folder and fold it right in half. Like so. I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish it down. I think you can get some, someone was saying that you could get some file folders from the Dollar Tree too, or the Dollar General, or one of those stores. So I guess they could be a little less expensive, but they're also probably a little less viable. I mean, I like the feeling of these that I get from Amazon, so the choice is yours. So we are going to fold this right in half, and that's where we're going to leave this one. We're going to take our second file folder, and we will fold it in half again, just like we did the first one. Hard to see on this. So just fold it in half like so. And I'm going to burnish that down also. Then we are going to, I got the tab on this side, we're going to flip it over. Now the tab is on the right side. And we are going to fold it again, just right up to the bottom of the tab. Now this can be a little fumbly. Just stay with it and you'll get it. Right about there. And I'm going to fold that right down. And try to burnish it as well as you can, but don't break your bone. Don't break your bone folder. But it's, you know, it moves for you after a while. There we go. So what you have here is not very straight, but that's understandable because these folders are not always straightly made anyway. They're a little wonky at times. So what we have here is a little booklet, okay? And don't worry about anything like that because it's all going to be covered, but I'm going to try to straighten it out as best I can. Okay. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, first I'll say that I did with a sewing machine, I went right down the seam here with straight stitch to hold this together because you want it held together like a little booklet. Okay, so you can sew it down with your sewing machine, or you can take your binder thread and just bind it like you would any other signature. You know, just bind it together so it holds together so it's like a little booklet. So either so, I don't know how well it would hold if gluing. I don't think I would trust it with gluing, so I think I would either sew it with the sewing machine or bind it with your binding thread, 3 pamphlet stitch or whatever. But you want this to hold together, okay? So then, for this little booklet here, you want to get another piece of file folder, which I got out of my stash, and that's real straight. Doesn't really matter though. I'll just try to straighten it out a little. This is going to be used for, there we go. Okay, we're going to fold this right in half. And yes, I know these file folders are a little tough to deal with, but if you stay with it, you can get it to do what you want. Okay. So this, on the end of your right side here, and make sure that this tab is in the front, like so, we are going to take our hinge and glue it right to here so that both seams are on the same, you know, are side by side. So the hinge seam and the book seam will be side by side once you glue it down. So once you glue it down, you're going to have a flap. Let me just go ahead and glue it. I just use a little bit of glue stick on mine because I just want it held in place because it's going to be sewn. So I'm going to seam to seam glue it just like this. So on the back side, your opening will be facing the right, like so. And I'll show you why we want it that way. So when we get our journal folder, with a sewing machine, we are going to sew right down this side along the bottom and right along here. And you're going to stop right about here with sewing or gluing, and we're going to take our little booklet with the flap, little hinge, and we're going to put our hinge right in between like so, and close that up with either glue or sewing. And you want to make sure that you have your little booklet in the spot where you want it. So this will be either glued or sewn in place, and then your little booklet will be a flip in and out like so on the front of your journal. And I will show you one. I'm going to show you one that I already sewed, but my sewing machine was very rebellious today and was a real pain. So, okay, so this is the one that I got done sewing, and like I said, my sewing machine was an absolute pain. I've got a little dead leaf here and a little dead leaf there, and I used the leaf motif to sew it. I wanted a little bit of decoration, but I don't think I'll use that again because it was a real pain in the tail. So that goes all the way down and across. I stopped here like I showed you, and I put in my little book, the little hinge, and I was so frustrated by that time that I said I'm just going to do a straight stitch the rest of the way, So I just straight stitched on this side. It's very pretty. I love the leaf motif, but it can be a real pain in the tail. So I got where I wanted it to show, I got that much, and then I just went straight stitch the rest of the way. But that doesn't matter anyway, because you can decorate and you can cover up stuff with decoration, and you can do things with it to make it look look good, even though it's you know, a straight stitch, instead of continuing on with whatever motif that you're using on your sewing machine. So what we end up with is we have a tuck spot here, we have a tuck spot here, so there's 2 tuck spots there. We have a pocket here, we have another tuck spot, and we have another pocket here. So you have two pockets, and like 1, 2, 3 tuck spots and 2 pockets to put a lot of pretty ephemera in. So basically you will have, because once I get this done and do some decoration, I will have my signature. I will have my signature right in here, and that will be done with a 3 pamphlet stitch. Or if you wanted to, you could do the where you have the 2 eyelets and then some elastic down, and that way you can put the signature in and out. So that's another option you can do with these. And then to tie it, I just take, when I'm done decorating and everything, I just take and just tie it all together like so. Once you have it all decorated and everything, like so. Now you can also have another option of I don't know if I would do it on, I was trying to think how you could do it, like have the book, but I guess before you hinge it, you could have this on the back and then just have the tie on the book. I'll have to try that sometime. You can play around and do, you know, there's all kinds of different things you can do. You can also have your tie in between. Well, I should be playing with this one because this one's all opened. You can maybe open this up before you sew it. Have a piece of tie on this side glued in place or taped in place like that on that side, and then have another piece glued or taped in place on this side. And then when you sew, you will have you will have your tie just connected to your journal, and that way your signature can be sewn in, I mean tied in, just like so. But then you would have your little booklet, which I'm wondering if there's a way to have this glued down on the back, but you'd have to do it before we connected the hinge. And then have that so that ties all by itself. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Sure there is. So that's options. Just showing you some options. So this one, at one point I can sew all together. And I'm thinking of, for this one here, I really haven't made up my mind yet what I want to do with the decorating part. I printed this out, and this is Life's Ever After, and I thought about using this, but I'm not really sure yet. I mean, it's very pretty, and I'll show you some of the pages. It's a very pretty digital. And this is the tall. This is the tall digital from Life's Ever. So you would have to, and I had this in my stash, so I was thinking about using this, but a lot of it will be cut away because it is tall. That's pretty. That would be pretty on the back of it. So I haven't quite decided yet if I want to use this one, because I'm, trying to use some things out of my stash to, now this could go either way. So this could be part of a signature, and this could be part of the signature. And it would also, so the regular size journal paper will fit too. If you try to put your papers and leave the motif of the sewing machine showing, it will fit just fine. And either way, actually, if you cover it up, it will fit fine too. So the regular size digital will be okay for decorating and fitting into your file folder journal. So that's fine. So it's just up to me whether I want to use this, or I might just try to find a regular size digital. But I do love this, and it is a tall one, so maybe I will have to make a tall journal. Or maybe I could use it in my, I don't know if I could use it in my waterfall journals, which I don't know what I did with that now. Oh, here's one. My waterfall journals are a little taller too, so maybe I could use some in my waterfall journal. So I make these too. If any of you are interested in a waterfall journal, I make these, and you can just email me if you're interested, and I can make you one, a personal made one. I love these waterfall journals, and I love making them. So anybody that's interested, let me know. So that's where I stand with that. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to decorate, but these papers are very, very pretty, so I will be using them with something. But like I said, I have a lot of Rachel's Roxy Creations. I have a lot of her digitals that I could go through that are Life's Ever After. That's what I said. Thought I said it wrong. I have a lot of Rachel's digitals that I could go through too to figure out. And then once I find out what I want to decorate with, we can go ahead and start decorating this one and do a little together on video. And by that time, maybe those who want to craft along, and we have these two big pockets up here. But I'm not worried about this here, because once we put in the signature, that will be closed. So that's that with this. These are so fun. I love decorating these, and they're so fun to make and decorate. So, and if your sewing machine would cooperate, it would look a little, I'm not worried about it though. I'm not worried about it. So anyway, I was saying Roxy Creations, I have some of her digitals. So I may go through hers and choose one of hers. I'm looking for like a summer theme is what I'm looking for. So, and I think Rachel has a lot like English garden and botanical and stuff like that, things like that. So that is probably what I'll do. So I will choose a digital that we're going to decorate with. And next time, I know this was Mask Make Monday, but I was feeling like no mask making today. So just getting away from that for a time or two. So I will choose one, and then I'll do some decorating of this on video. So that's all I had for you today, guys. I wanted to show you how to put the basic journal together, and then if you want to decide to decorate with me, then you can at least have this part done, and we can decorate together. I will show you when I choose what I will be using, and then if you want to get the same one or use your own preference, that is fine. So other than that, I am going to let you guys go. It's a beautiful day. I got my mowing and my weeding done. So we are all set to go for the day. So have a wonderful week. I cannot believe it is Monday already. Stay healthy, safe, and blessed. And I will see you next video, which will be, it'll be Tag Tuesday, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do tags. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye, everybody.